Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2018 horror thriller Bloodline, a film that is directed by Henry Jacobson and it stars Seann William Scott, Mariella Garriga and Dale Dickey. And this is a film that focuses on Seann William Scott's character Evan, who works as a school counsellor or stroke social worker, and he spends his days listening to very disturbed and unhappy children, and essentially what he does with this information he gets about these abusive parents, abusive fathers especially, is he takes this information, tracks these individuals down and murders them while taking their confessions. As you could imagine, he's a family man and he is married to Mariella Garriga's character Lauren. They've just had a newly born baby, and his mother, played by Dale Dickey, Marie, has moved in to help with the baby. So as you could imagine, he's a family man, and by juggling these two lives, this comes to a head later in the film. And that's all I really want to say on the plot of the film, because this is one of those films you're going to want to watch yourself. Because I have to be honest here, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed this film. I'll say straight away that fans of the TV show Dexter will immediately relate to this film. It is very, very similar to Dexter, strikingly so at times. In that, Dexter takes his vengeance out on those who deserve it, and his serial killer instincts, which he has to indulge, he does so by taking it out on those who deserve it. So does Seann William Scott. He has the very same tendencies and he takes it out on those who deserve it. In the TV show, Dexter takes trophies, he takes blood on slides and saves them. Seann William Scott does things slightly different, in a sense of he records their confession and then saves the confessions and listens to them in his private time. So very, very similar characters, and they're both very, very likeable, and you actually end up rooting for Dexter, and you end up rooting for Evan, Seann William Scott's character. It's a very, very good film, and it's as close as Dexter's going to get to a film, I would suggest. Some might feel it's completely ripping off Dexter, but I think it's actually quite respectful, and it's a really well made film. It's really well directed. There's a great colour scheme going on with the film, and the soundtrack is really good as well. It's one of those retro type soundtracks that really works for the film. And we have at the central performance here by Seann William Scott, I think, is outstanding. He plays almost at times an emotionless character, like he is. These emotions have been surgically removed at some point in his life, which you can understand as you watch the film. Things are revealed about his childhood and his relationship with his mother that make an awful lot of sense as to why he is who he is. However, while still being seemingly emotionless, he works in a job where he has to, support and help these kids. And the trouble is, he does it in ways they don't particularly want. But also, he has to be a loving husband and father, which he manages to do. He's very supportive with his wife. He loves his son very much, and he'll do anything to protect the family. It's just the things he does to protect the family can be a little bit questionable, you could say. So it's a really, really entertaining film, and at times brutal. The scenes where he's trying to get confessions out of his victims are quite difficult to watch, but ultimately really rewarding and fascinating and really well made. There's a nice twist that takes place in the film. You see the relationship between him and his mother, and something's just not quite right there, and a reveal takes place about halfway through the film that explains very clearly the relationship between him and his mother, and it all makes sense. And there's another twist at the end involving the wife that I must admit I didn't expect, but it was very, very welcome. So it's one of those that gives you an ending that you quite like, because you like this character, but it might not be the ending that the character deserves, if you like. But I've got to say, I was super surprised by this film. Occasionally you'll watch and review a film that you don't expect an awful lot out of, and I'd not heard of this film until I saw it. then I read the plot and I thought, oh, that sounds really interesting. It sounds a bit like Dexter. I'll give this a go. And it happens 2 or 3 times a year. You know, you'll watch something, you don't expect anything from it, and it kind of blows you away. Yes, there are a couple of plot holes that you could choose to pick apart if you wanted to. There's a policeman that gets involved that suspects Seann William Scott's character of not only some of the murders where he is now, but previously where he lived 3 years ago. I think you get the impression that if it had delved a little bit deeper, you know, it would have all been revealed. But it kind of gives it up a little bit too easily, should we say. So yeah, I've got to say, I strongly recommend this film. I definitely think fans of Dexter, and I am a big fan of Dexter, I thoroughly enjoyed that show, and I really, really would love to see that show make a comeback at some point, because I wasn't satisfied with the ending. This genuinely felt like Dexter on the big screen almost, and it's a great performance by Seann William Scott, and it's a great performance by Dale Dickey, who plays his mum Marie, and it's a film I strongly recommend. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Definitely check this one out. I think you'll enjoy it. It's a really well made film, pretty impactful, some brutal scenes. So yeah, that is my review for Bloodline. Check it out if you get the chance. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and share. I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.